Supposedly I'm live. I have no idea if I am or not. We shall see if and when the stream kicks in at some point on the chat channel that I've got running next to me. And when I do, and when it appears, I will start doing the thing. Oh, it looks like the stream might be live. So cool. Let's do the thing, right? Yeah. So I've been away for a couple of weeks on my annual World of Warcraft guild meet that I've been doing for the last 13 or 14 years, which is great fun. But it does mean that I missed the pre-release and I missed the general release of Jump to Lightspeed, which was yesterday. So I've been in to pick my packs today. I have just shy of 80 booster packs to go through, so this might be a bit of a long one. God knows, we shall see. But hopefully it is at least minorly entertaining for anyone who joins me during this next, I don't know, what, couple of hours or so, how long it's going to take. Yeah, and we'll see how that goes. There was going to be some carbonite in here as well, but due to a mix-up at the local store, the carbonite has not happened, and I might be getting it later. So if we're lucky, we'll maybe do a carbonite unboxing in a week or two, whenever it turns up, and that will be fun and full of shininess and things. So let's start off with the pre-release kit, because I missed the pre-release. So luckily, they were not all sold out of pre-release kits, and I was able to pick one up. Not so much for the experience in the packs, obviously, because the packs are largely the packs, but the main reason why I'd want to do this is, of course, to get these lovely shiny cardboard tokens that you get in every period. No, I don't want those at all. I've got much better tokens than that, thanks to Laser Gaming, who made some absolutely wonderful tokens that I adore and use in every game that I play. No, the reason is wholly and completely to get the 2 hyperspace cards. Although I'm going to keep this deck box there, often quite handy to have lying around. If I can make it fold flat without wrecking the cardboard inside of it too much. There we go. And these dividers are quite nice. I use for my card storage that I use. So let's just put them aside somewhere. And ooh, shiny. I mean, we know what these are. These are the Han Solo and the Boba Fett from the Spotlight decks, just in hyperspace form. So yay! There we go. We have a shiny hyperspace Han Solo and a shiny hyperspace Boba Fett, which are a little bit out of focus on the camera. I can see. I'm not entirely sure if they're visible. That looks like it's a little bit better. And they're cool, which is great. And they're not foily on one side and non-foily on the other, as they have been on occasion on some of them. So yeah, I actually quite like the Boba Fett. I think he's a potentially viable leader, so I'm tempted to give him a go. Han Solo, I love the idea of the Spotlight deck, where everything is done to be an odd cost in the deck, which is really cool. Just really awkward to make sure you're making the most of all your resources as you go. So I'm not sure if I'll play that as anything more than a gimmick or as a laugh every now and then. But the Boba Fett and stacking it with indirect, and maybe like every other drop, putting in some ping damage to finish off units that my opponent has put indirect on, thinking that they can just tank a bunch of damage, and then putting it in there has some value. So I'm very tempted to give that a go as time goes on. So that's going to be nice. Let's just put them somewhere and start on the 6 packs that came in the pre-release and see what my luck would have been had I attended a pre-release on the day of the pre-release. We have Major Von Reg, common leader, who I'm also interested in being a potential aggro villain leader. I think that could be quite cool. Base-wise, common base. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice, pretty hyperspace there. I like that. Let's put the hyperspaces to one side. It's probably worth keeping the bases to one side as well, because of the tokens on the back. They might be useful. Where are we going to put those? Let's put those here for the time being, as well as leaders. We'll just put them up there, which I appreciate is underneath the picture of me on this stream. But You're not really here to see common leaders and common bases, are you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's probably 8 commons because I've taken the hyperspace out. There's going to be a massive pile of commons here, so let's just like put those out of sight. No one's going to want to see a huge wad of commons. Uncommons are always nice. What do we have here? We have a rare and a foily K-Wing. Yay. The rares are well and good. Uncommons are important to get hold of a set of, so let's put those there for the time being until this gets massively unwieldy and I start needing to put things elsewhere. So maybe we just like put the uncommons over here on this side and rares over here on this side, and then I don't know, legendaries somewhere useful, or pride of place perhaps. If you're watching, hello. Say in chat, say like your name or something, or where you're from, or what you're collecting, what you're playing, or don't say anything. I mean, I'm not your boss. Maybe you're just here to listen to me talk like a moron. Ria Durant, common villain leader. Not massively interested in playing with him, I must confess. Mos Eisley, looking forward to the hyperspace of that. That's probably going to be quite a pretty base. What we got on there? We've got TIE Fighter on the back. I want to get a bunch of like 10 to 15 or so hyperspace basic bases, and then I can do like TIE Fighters on one side, hyperspace TIE Fighters, and then hyperspace X-Wings on the other side. So I'm looking forward to collecting those or picking them up as singles as this all goes on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 commons. And uncommons we have. I have you now. Salvage, nice card. I'm looking forward to giving that something in either a Piet deck or some other late game vehicle based deck. Frisk is. Are you what? Are you a dinosaur or something? I have no idea what race that is. Is he the same race as Bosk, like a Trandoshan or something? No, it's not a Trandoshan. Is it Trandoshan? I have no idea if it's a Trandoshan or not. That's all cool. And we got a rare, which is a tactical heavy bomber. Deal indirect damage equal to the unit's power to the winning player 3/5 for 5, so can potentially be buffed to do even more indirect damage. Whoop-de-doo. Put that on the rares pile. And a foily page, who's an uncommon, and I don't really see making much use of that card, I confess. Because it's basically a +1, isn't it? But then if you're putting it with Rose for the healing, yeah, fine. Cool. Uncommons go. Where are the uncommons pile? There's the uncommons pile. We'll put that in the uncommons pile. Booster number 2. Oh, I was really looking forward to doing this with the Carbonite box as well, and like doing 6 boosters and then a Carbonite, and then 6 boosters and then a Carbonite, and then 6 boosters and then a Carbonite. But well, Wedge, yep, solid-ish pilot. City in the Clouds also going to be a pretty hyperspace as and when. Can we not just get this to focus somewhere slightly different? Let's hold this up here a bit and maybe mess with this autofocus. See if that. There we go. That's a bit better, isn't it? Yeah. Nice. That's much better. Yeah. Awesome. Glad we figured that out. Right. Commons 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Commons Choreogrand turn. You're going to be needing a bunch of those. Well, let's face it, 3 of them, but probably hyperspace because they're going to be solid cards for the entirety of the set. Uncommon aspect list. Do I remember this one? Oh yes, this is the one that can ambush and attack space units at a -1 attack for 5, which isn't massively useful, really, is it? Path Pain could be. In Depth to Crimson Dawn looks fun. Hondo is a legendary. We got a first legendary. Woo! It's a Hondo who's not brilliant, really, for 4 double blue. But hey, and its priority is common foily, so let's put the foils over here. Legendaries. We're going to stack legendary. Let's just put the. So if we do rares up there, uncommons in the corner here, legendaries here, then that will be a thing. Right, and we got those uncommons. I do like this in Depth to Crimson Dawn. I think that's going to be great fun in a villain yellow deck. Looking forward to giving that some play, maybe. Probably in a Django deck, perhaps. Maybe not in the main deck. Maybe it wouldn't take the place of Frozen in Carbonite or No Good to Be Dead. That's the other one. Readrant Hyperspace. Woo! Hyperspace leads are pretty. We like Hyperspace. Hyperspace is awesome. So let's put that up there. Sassy Temple. Another pretty base. Common with next week on the back. Yay. Two. Oh, Vulture Droid. First of many. 1, 2. Oh, another Hyperspace. Hyperspace MC30. Yeah, that's going to be necessary as a cheap capital ship. We'll see that in some Piet decks, I'm sure. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's all the commons. Uncommons, we have Von Rig's Tie, he's going to be good. Silver Angel, not massively bothered about. Dornian Gunship's capital ship for cheap again, although you're probably going to play the MC30, I guess. Next up we have Rare, which is a fun Rare. I'm really looking forward to playing that at the clutch moment in a Twin Suns game or something. I think that's going to be fun. Let's put the... and we have a foil common B-Wing, which is fiddly. Oh well. Next booster. Anything interesting? I have a Luke Skywalker. Yay, common Luke Skywalker. And another... Seed Palace is very pretty. I do like the pretty ones. X-Wing on the back. Looking forward to getting a set of all the bases in Hyperspace, because Hyperspace is pretty and I like them. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 commons. That is all the commons, isn't it? Yep. Uncommons, Rafa, Red Leader, Strong Card, Face Off. Looks fun. Not going to see it in competitive decks, are we, realistically? Ahsoka is a rare. Is potentially useful in yellow hero decks and another Force user. And of course, that's the artwork from the Ahsoka Tano series, which is cool. Which I enjoyed more than I thought I would. There's a little foil common there to go in the pile of foils I'm not massively bothered about. Uncommons in the uncommon pile. I should probably put the uncommon pile off screen because they're not going to be massively exciting to look at necessarily. Then again, they might be. I don't know. Who am I to say? What anybody else enjoys or sees watching. This is the last pack from my pre-release pack. Would I have gotten a showcase or anything else majorly exciting in my pre-release pack? I've pulled one legendary so far out of these 6. And we get a Rose Tico. So the leaders I would have had access to are Rio, Tico, Von Reg, Wedge, and Luke. That's actually a solid set of leaders to pull for a pre-release. So that I'd have gone into that fairly happy of being able to put together a decent sealed deck out of those leaders. So that's quite nice. Chopper base, reprint, JTL, yay, with some shields on the back. Nice new shield picture, which I do quite like. Although I just use the shield tokens that I use in my game. Again, laser gaming, really good tokens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 commons. Off to one side. Uncommons. Blue needs solid card like that. 9 Numb, yay, is a rare who's a staple for a particular kind of deck. And Sassy, tactical, very pretty card. Off to one side, right. So that's all 6 boosters from the pre-release box. So now we go into my first actual box of boosters. Get rid of those. Crack the box. Maybe we can like move it off there so it's not taking up too much real estate on the screen. All right, here we go. First box, box number 1, is a Hyperspace Lando, who is kind of a pretty card. I don't see it getting any real use in a competitive environment whatsoever, but I suppose you never know what use somebody's going to put something to. But having a hyperspace is always nice. It looks kind of pretty from that side, though. Yeah, glad I got one. Likewise, a beautiful hyperspace base there. Love the way that looks. And on the back, we got a hyperspace TIE fighter, which is nice to have. So I don't know, I'll put hyperspace bases just down here or something. 1, 2. It looks like we got a hyperspace in the final uncommon slot back there, just poking out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 commons. Off to the commons pile. 1, 2, 3 uncommons. The uncommon of which is a hyperspace clone combat squadron, which is not amazing, but not horrific, I suppose. Potentially has some use. Another tactical heavy bomber, rare, and a foil black squadron resistance X-wing with the weird little half engine size things that they've got, which are always weird to me. I don't, you have like a round turbine for the X-wings and the engines, and then the resistance ones they're like cut off at the bottom, so they're like semicircle turbines, and I don't understand it. I just don't get why they did that. What's the logical reason behind it? But then again, so many of the things they did in the sequel trilogy just beg a belief with the decisions they made anyway. So that's all cool. Next booster. Akbar. Yeah, great. Sassy Temple. Yeah. TIE Fighter on the back. Great. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 commons. Off the go. To the common bin. 1, 2, 3 uncommons. First Krennic. Rare super heavy ion cannon. I like the look of stay on target. +2 and draw a card is. Well, it's kind of on the numbers, really, isn't it? +2 for 2, draw a card for 2. Draw a card normally costs 2, so maybe you're getting a little bit more bonus for that. And card advantage is always nice. I like the fly casual as well, that's kind of cool. Can't attack bases though. Still, potentially takes me out. Had my own Krennic for a while because of his synergies with the new Grand Admiral Thrawn. Ion Cannon, which one's this one? Capital ship or transport. On attack, you may exhaust a non-leader unit, depending on player controls. If you do, deal indirect damage equal to its power to that player. So for 2, you buff. Oh, you play it on your own unit. Buff their defense by +3. Then when it attacks, you can exhaust a non-leader unit. So a little bit of. Yeah, it definitely has use in a tempo deck. And a common foil TIE Fighter, which is like Vader's TIE, but shorter. Yay. We haven't had anything really exciting yet. We've had one legendary, which is Hondo. Common Darth Vader. Yeah, you see Palace with experience on the back. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 commons. Off to the common bank. 1, 2, 3 uncommons, which are fairly solid. And we have an Executor for our second legendary, which is very nice. Not sure it's going to see much use, to be honest, but still nice. Looking forward to maybe getting a prestige version of one of those, and a foily common Duros pilot. Yay. Oh, yeah. Next booster. I'm starting to lose count of how many boosters in I'm in. Oh, hyperspace loot. That's nice to get. There's a. Is there? No, there wasn't. Okay, so hyperspace loot. The hyperspace doesn't look that bad. It's nice that he's like all smiling and hopeful and stuff, about to go off on a big adventure mission. Yeah, say you got the big round turbines. It's not a bad looking card. And I'm very tempted to use and do a loot deck as a control space deck and ping mono aggro. I've seen some people play that online. I think it was mainly late night gaming and some garbage rollers guys that have done it, and it looks very tempting from the double red point of view with aggression. And other similar cards. Drop a base with experience on the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 commons. Out of the way. 1, 2, 3 uncommons, with red 5 being one of them. Another one I'm hoping to get as prestige variant. Closes shield gate, which a friend of mine has pointed out is going to be very interesting if you wanted to combo that with something like Galactic Ambition. So you can play this for an extra one and prevent the damage cost you would pay as part of Galactic Ambition, and then just play something horrifically huge, which is going to be amusing little combo. I do like the idea of that. So that can be fun, and a foily tie carrier. Great. Wonderful. Grand Admiral Thrawn, common leader, not a hyperspace, although there is a hyperspace in here, appears to be poking out. Secure shield generator complex. That's also going to be a pretty hyperspace as I want to get one, so I'll look forward to that. 1, 2, 3, 4. It is a pretty hyperspace. 3 costs, 3/7, deal 3 to the unit when played, so it comes out as 3/4 for 3, which isn't great, but you could potentially hit it up high if you wanted to, or playing a heal synergy with Rose, for example. Now, let's face it, this is a draft or limited format card, but it's pretty hyperspace, so I like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 commons. Now that one's been taken out for the hyperspace. Uncommons. We have 1, 2, 3. Another red leader is good. Another fleet admiral in the rare slot. And a foil uncommon. Heartless Tactics. Exhaust the unit, give it -2 attack for the phase, then if it has 0 power and isn't a leader, return it to their hand. So it's a cheaper bounce if the unit has -2 power. Oh, and the exhaust in there as well. So, okay, it's got a few potential uses. Whether it's a bit too niche or specialised in quite how it'll do what it'll do, and you wouldn't just rather pay a rep waylay or something. But then it only costs 2, so that's not that bad, I suppose. Rare leader, Sarge. There's a hyperspace poking out in there. Yep, great. Not sure I'm massively bothered about giving a Sarge a try, but we'll give her a go at some point. Give her a run. Make sure she sees a moment or two in the sun. 2, 3, 4. We got a hyperspace Omicron strike craft, which looks like an Imperial shuttle. 2, 3 Sentinel for 3 in blue. Sure, why not? Why not? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 commons. You okay, cleared? Let's blow this thing a go. 1, 2, 3 timely reinforcements. I do like the look of timely reinforcements. I'm sure there's got to be a place for it in the game somewhere. Rare slot is a Victor leader, which is another one that I want as a prestige because it's going to be in a diptych with red 5. So that'd be nice. And a foil Clone Combat Squadron, which we've already seen in this stream earlier. Yay. The pile of rubbish to my side is filling up. Admiral Holdo, a rare rebel leader. You got to pay 1 and exhaust, and it's faction tagged with resistance, but the bonus +2/+2 isn't bad. It's going to be tough to make this work. There's not a huge amount of resistance in this set, unfortunately, or in the game in at all, period. Theed Palace Hyperspace is very pretty. I do like that. I do like that a lot. Foil Hyperspace on... sorry, foil Hyperspace. Hyperspace TIE Fighter on the back is nice. Let's just put that there, because that is very pretty. There's a bit of glare on this Hyper here. I'm not sure there's much I can do about that, really. Let's see if moving the light will change that ever so slightly. Yeah, get a little bit better view of what the hyperspace pile is. That's fine. Cool. Right. So commons 1, 2, 3. Oh, another hyperspace 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Commons all go off to the pile. And the hyperspace we've got here is an Interceptor Ace, which looks pretty. I like the look of that. That looks good. Nice artwork. Game mechanics wise, +2/+3, grit for 3. Sure, I mean, great in a grit deck. Great in the Sarge Adventurous grit deck, I suppose, in that regard. That's all well and good. And commons, 1, 2, 3, nothing of note. A rare Heat of Battle, which we've already seen earlier on this stream. And the foil is a common Repair. Again, nothing to write home of, but a solid core card that I use frequently in Twin Suns, if nothing else. And we have a Major Von Reg and a Dockyards with an X-Wing on it, and another Swarming Vulture Droid. Should I just pull out the Swarming Vulture Droid and see how many I get over the space of this game? Yeah, let's do that. That'll be funny. 1, 2. Just keep them a separate pile. Of course, the goal of having 15 hyperspace swarming vulture droids is possibly more of a long-term thing, but unlikely to be gotten out of the packs that I've got here today. But surely some people will have them. Maybe there'll be a decent volume of them pulled out of carbonite packs if the singles market is lucky in that regard. Where's the next one? There we go. 2, 3. Where's that? No. There we go. Right. So a bunch of packs in. We've got like 4 Swarming Vulture Droids so far, which is funny. Right. Commons we were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 commons. Fine. Uncommons, bigs, Hera, and a hyperspace rare Lightspeed Assault. Pretty artwork. I do like that. That's very pretty. It was a good moment in the film. I mean, say a lot of bad things about Episode 8, say a lot more about Episode 9, but that was a spectacular moment in the movie, of special effects and otherwise, so that's a nice one to have. And another legendary, woo! 3rd legendary, we have an Annihilator. Tags flagship. And again, as 11 drop, I don't see a lot of use, but hey, there we go. And we have a hyper foil, a common hyper foil, evasive maneuvers, exhaust a unit, which is all well and good. Do I need a pile for hyper foils at this point? Do I really want to do that? Or should I just move the uncommons off? Yeah, let's move the uncommons off the table. Nobody really cares about a pile of uncommons. So we'll move them off the display and we'll put a little pile for the hyper foils over there. Yeah, and the uncommon, the legendaries have that little stack. Oh, excuse me. Awesome. Moving on. Krakens, Rose Tico, another Massassi Temple, another Swarming Vulture Droid. Yay! That's 5 Swarming Vulture Droids. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 commons. 2 one side. 1, 2, 3 uncommons. War Juggernaut going to be a staple in the new Django configurations. So good to see some of those. The rare slot, we have a rare Commandeer. Potentially interesting, but it only caps out at 6. And shoot down the foil. Yeah. 3 damage to space unit, 2 to base for 2. I mean, it's a lot of damage for a cost, but a little bit niche depending on whether or not you're going to be facing space units. But killing a space unit for 2 and 2 to base is going to be a good potential anti-aggro tactic. So probably a good sideboard card, I guess, in that regard. Next up, we're, I don't know, getting on for halfway through this first box after the pre-release box. Black bar. There's a hyperspace poking out its edge out there. Precisely. 1, 2, 3, and hyperspace is a dorsal turret, which Good for killing big ships or little ships. But not an awful lot else, so maybe a bit too niche, but nice enough art. Like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 commons. Off to the side. Uncommons. That is some lovely Razor Crest art, I've got to say. That is, if not photorealistic, it's very close to it. So props to the artist, Renaud, or Reno, however you wish to pronounce your name. That is a gorgeous piece of artwork. Very well done. Chimera, my first Chimera, uncommon Chimera. Again, I want either 3 uncommons of those or 3 prestiges of those, because I'm a Colossal Thrawn fanboy. Yay! And the rare, third uncommon slot is a Hyperspace Rare. Moff Gideon, who could certainly mess with some deck configurations, asking for things to pay an extra resource more. So 5/4 stats for 4 is about on curve with the extra ability in there from his power budget from the uniqueness. Yeah, nice. That has. I'd like to see that make its way into some decks just to frustrate the Rampy players and maybe the hard one players. But I haven't seen it talked about too much, so I guess we'll find out if that actually does make an impact or not. There is no escape, is the rare. Lose all abilities, can't gain abilities. Yeah. There's a few of those kicking around, isn't there? And the foil is a legendary foil slot, a Darth Vader legendary who's pretty powerful and a good solid pull there. Thank you very much to the gods of RNG. Need to figure out a better place to put these vulture droids, really, don't I? Well, let's maybe just stack them up in the corner here. Over the Star Wars. It's not fun to have them over the Star Wars Unlimited logo, is it? Although we can at least push things up to cover the Shadows of the Galaxy, because this has all nothing to do with the Shadows of the Galaxy. Yeah, let's. Well, maybe we condense the leaders down so they're not quite showing as much there. Put the bases up a bit further and have a bit more real estate space on this screen here to stack the soaring vulture droids and see how many we get. Alright, next booster. Another Vader. To be fair, do people really care about that? Well, maybe I'll move them if I'm lacking for real estate space later. Common resistance with some shields on the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 commons. Baby Anakin, or like child Anakin. I confess I don't really see the in-game benefit of returning the upgrade to its owner's hand after you successfully complete an attack. Maybe I lack imagination. That is entirely possible. Phasma solid. R2 is very solid. Good to have some R2s. And a rare Cassian. Discard effect and potentially a draw effect is. Well, it's like a mill and a draw effect. Yeah. But for +1/+3, oh, you're only paying 2 when you're paying him as a piloting upgrade. So +1/+3 for 2 with that effect is far from the worst thing in the world. So that's good. In the rare pile, and then go on and common foil. Yeah, great. Yeah, let's get rid of the leaders off the screen because they're just gonna. Nobody's really bothered about leaders necessarily, or common bases. So let's move those away. Put the rares up here. Oh no, let's just let's put the rares there. The legendaries up there. Start tearing them down as it goes. And the hyperfoil here, right? Hey Phil. Phil, if the unit has damage counters and the loss of the upgrade could cause the unit to become defeated. Yeah, it's a fair point. I mean, obviously that's niche as all hell and are very unlikely to come up, but it's better to have the bonus than not have the bonus. So are you paying over the odds for the ability on the Anakin? So you're paying 2 plus 3, sorry, plus 2 plus 3 for a cost of 2. It's not bad. So I guess the ability is over and above the power budget for the stats with the uniqueness. So better to not have the ability. Sorry, better to have the ability than not have the ability, I guess. So cool. Oh yeah, absolutely stronger in sealed, as is the case with so many things. Also, thanks for joining, Phil. Much appreciated. Good to see you here. If Phil is the preferred way, oh, down hyperspace Darth Vader. I mean, it's still only a hyperspace common, but it's still a very pretty card. I do like hyperspace leaders. I always try and collect a set of hyperspace leaders because they're pretty, and I like pretty things. So yeah, there we go. That's all right, but I think he's nicer in the hyperspace. Sorry, in the leader side form. I don't know why. He just feels better. Maybe that's just me. Base can go away. Looks like we've got another hyperspace poking out there later on in this pack. Oh, you got another swarming vulture droid. 6 swarming vulture droids. Looks like we're about halfway down this pack. Hyperspace Red Squadron Y-Wing. That is a pretty piece of artwork as well, isn't it? I do like that. And you can't really see it because of the glare of the light in there. So let's just tilt that a little bit. Yeah. Like that a lot. That's nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 commons. Because I took out the hyperspace and the vulture droid. BB-8's good to have. Fireballs good to have. So many people are really hot on Kasuda. So, I mean, I just poo-pooed it and have completely ignored Kasuda as a potential option as a competitive play. But he's really high on a lot of people's lists as potential competitive leaders. So that's maybe a blind spot on my part, and I should probably put a deck together, see what I can manage, and see if Kazuda has the strength to do what he needs to do. Another uncommon. And another legendary is nice, the Profundity, which is not the most competitive card in the game, but is a nice legendary to have. And it definitely goes towards the set because I'm aiming to collect a play set of every card in the game at bare minimum. I'm still missing a couple of cards, I think, from set 3, but I'm not too bothered about those. They're not hard to get hold of at the moment. That focus fire is quite nice. Right, next pack. And we have a Hyperspace Thrawn. Very happy to pull a Hyperspace Thrawn. Because Thrawn, basically. That's all. And what's he look like on the other side? That looks strong. I think that looks stronger artwork size and look wise this side than this side. This side is all well and good, but I think the framing of the doorway behind makes it look a little bit better in that orientation. So that's nice. Base goes away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 commons. And a Poe Dameron, who I understand is going to be the art for participation at, I think, the Liverpool sectors are going to have this as the participant map. So that could be quite nice with the background of the green and the skies going on in there one. That should be good. Talking Gold Leader, a 5/5 shielded for 6. While he's defending, you get -1/0. But why would you want to attack it, really, if it's a 5/5 shielded? So you'd need a way to give it Sentinel somehow. Does the Millennium Falcon as well. And the rare is a targeting computer. I didn't realise that was a rare, I must confess. Still, nice card, especially given the indirect kicking around at the moment. And only a 1 cost is good. And the common is some TIE Fighters, which is what? 2 1/1s for 2. Yeah, fine, cool. Solid. Not the worst card in the world. There's a huge pile of rubbish right next to me. Rose Tico common, yay, big deal. Oh, that is quite pretty. City in the Clouds. That's a nice piece of artwork, isn't it? That'd be a nice thing to have a huge print of on your wall or something, and have it framed, because that's a beautiful piece of artwork. Thank you very much, Rocio Espin, or Rocio Espin, however you wish to pronounce your name. I do apologise if I got that wrong. That is a beautiful piece of artwork. Thank you very much for making and sharing that. That's gorgeous. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, no, hang on. 9, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, I just miscounted because I'm a moron. This one's curious. I do like the look of this. 3/2 double shielded for 4. I mean, I guess you're playing it in the Gar Saxon deck for a given, but yeah, interesting. Nice mechanic. You can see if it actually sees some play in a competitive deck. Chimpster says all the base art is superb this set. I completely agree. All the new base art is exceptional, and I love it. So these are the 3 hyperspace bases that I've pulled and opened so far. You're right, they are great. The aspectless base is going to be a beautiful hyperspace as well, and I'm hoping I pull one of those at some point through these packs. Can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. Uncommons, we got some uncommons. Great. And the rare slot is a General Draven, who makes the X-Wing tokens, but eats 5 costs, so it's not massively great. But we have got a double rare pack with the Invisible Hand foil in the foil slot, which is almost certainly going to see play in some decks due to its direct synergies with Swarming Vulture Droids, which are pretty awesome. And I really want to play a Swarming Vulture Droid Swarm deck just for a laugh. I'm sure it's going to be fun, either in Twin Suns or a Von Rig deck or something, just for a swarming space deck and game. All right, next up we have a Phasma rare leader. Yay. Cool. Oh, we got Hyperfoil in the back there. That's nice. Do I leap straight to the Hyperfoil? No, of course I don't leap straight to the Hyperfoil. We're going to tease that one out. Common base. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 commons. 1, 2, 3 uncommons. Apology accepted. If people play this and don't say apology accepted, Captain Nida, whenever they play it, I will be very disappointed, because I guess I'm a nerd like that. There we go. Well, what the hell? Hunting Aggressor, exceptionally good for the Boba Fett indirect based decks or other indirect based decks. Rare slot, we have an Ahsoka, another Ahsoka, which is nice. And it's a Hyperfoil Legendary. Hyperfoil Invincible. Ooh, that's nice. Very nice. Not sure I'm going to play it, because I don't really want to. None of the concepts they have with decks using Separatist leaders, be they Dooku or Trench or otherwise, massively appealed to me. But that's still a pretty card and an extra legendary, so that goes in the legendary pile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 legendaries so far out of a pre-release box and half a booster box so far. Entering the second half of this booster box. What have we got? We've got a Durant. Yay. And common base with some experience on the back. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, another hyperspace. That's kind of. Given that they've got an awful lot of spaceships in this set due to its premise as the spaceship set, they've done a lot of variety on the backgrounds of the spaceships. This one's got kind of a red nebula sort of feel to the background. But otherwise, it's a 4/1 ambush common for 3. Yeah, so I'm sure that'll see play somewhere. Where's my hyperspace pile? There's my hyperspace pile. Resupply carrier, going to be a staple of the set. that'll be in the staple of the game for the next 2 years, I'm sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Uncommons. Uncommons. We got Blue Leader, who's a solid card. Into Crimson Dawn, which is a card I like. World Juggernaut is going to be a staple. And in the rest, like we have an Iden Versio, who 3/3 shielded for 3, or a 4/3 shielded for 4. Yeah, she'll see play. She'll certainly see play, one way or the other. I have no doubt whatsoever. And the foil is a foil hog tank. 5/3 Sentinel for 4 in yellow. Seen a lot more Sentinels in yellow these days. It's like they were originally and initially more the prevalence of the blue colour, but seeing quite a few Sentinels crop up in yellow 4 sets in. So that's interesting. Wonder if they're just using that as a game disruption sort of justification for the yellow colour, the cunning more than anything else. We have a Luke Skywalker leader in the leader pile. Another common base with next wing on the back. Got hyperspace in there. 1, 2, 3. What we got here is Shadowed Overtake, the one I just had a foil of, who looks nice. I mean, fine. Yep, cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 commons. Uncommons. Nothing there to write home about particularly. Put another card in a discard pile on the bottom of its owner's deck if you do create next wing. So I suppose ultimately you're making a 2/2 for 1. So that's not the worst card in the world. Really? It's more of a filler card, isn't it? So I doubt it's going to see use in a constructed deck, but I've certainly put it in a Twin Suns deck quite happily. Yeah, all right, cool. Rare slot, we've got another Invisible Hand, which is definitely worth having. And the foil slot, we've got a Torpedo Barrage. 5 indirect damage for 3, with the pluses from whatever plus buffs you've got, whether that's Boba himself or the aggression red spaceship thing that you play for 4. Torpedo Barrage, potentially a card that will see play in a competitive Boba deck, so that'd be nice. Admiral Piet, rare. Nice, let's put him away. Common base. X-Wing. So there's something I've noticed, but I've been holding off saying because I don't want to start jinxing things. But jinxing is obviously a fallacy because whatever's in the packs is whatever's in the packs. But let's test my luck here. So far, out of the first 2/3 of this booster box and the pre-release set, I have not yet drawn a rare base. There we go. I'm going to draw nothing but rare bases here on out, and it's going to be the worst thing in the world, but it's something that I've noticed, and looks like there's a hyperspace in the back there, so that's nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 commons. Off into the large common pile. Uncommons, we got a couple of uncommons that I'm not massively bothered about, and a hyperspace uncommon, General Hux, who you could see play in a first order deck, but there's not that many first order cards really enough to make a tribal first order deck just yet, so that's all well and good. Put that in the hyperspace pile, and we have another legendary Turbolaser Salvo, which is definitely a legendary worth having. Awesome. And an uncommon foil Mandalorian in the foil slot, who is not a bad card in the slightest, and I expect to see play in some double yellow decks for good reason, I'm sure. What we got here? We got another reiterant. Am I putting leaders on top of my? Yes, I am. That's not helpful. I'm mixing my piles up. That's a shame. Chopper base reprint with TIE Fighter on the back. Torpedo Barrage, as aforementioned, a TIE Bomber. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 commons. Still only on the 6 Swarming Vulture Droids. Uncommons, Cham Syndulla, Banshee, Heartless Tactics, yeah, sure. And a Relentless Fire Spray. I'm not sure I've seen this one before. I must have skipped my notice. So what we got there? We got. Let's just tilt it up so we can be seen. 4/6 for 6, double red. On attack, ready this unit uses ability only once per round. So you got the whole readying thing going on, but it doesn't necessarily come in ready. But it can potentially attack twice a round. I mean, that's strong. Yeah, it's definitely got use. If I was running a double red Luke deck or any double red deck, I'd strongly consider including that. Absolutely, yeah. And the foil is a Red Squadron X-Wing, which is okay. Yeah, awesome. There's a pop-up on the screen which is annoying me, so I'm just going to have to move a few things so I can move my mouse and get rid of that pop-up. Close down Discord. Yeah, there we go. Right. Move the mouse out of the way again. Right. Boosters. Let's put this iPad out of the way because I don't really need it, because the streaming screen shows me the comments, which is what I was using this for, but that can go away somewhere out of the way, which gives me more space for putting this massive pile of cards that is being opened. Right, anyway, let's get on with it. Luke Skywalker, all well and good. Hyperspace, Mos Eisley, yeah. Another top quality hyperspace base there, artwork. Not something I'd necessarily put on my wall, like a piece of artwork for the City in the Clouds here, but very pretty nonetheless. I get the feeling, I don't know why, this is more inspired by the Book of Boba Fett series than Episode 4. Phil says, I think the first deck I want to try building with this set is a TIE token swarm list for funsies. So that'll be a Darth Vader deck, I assume. Yeah, definitely looks like it's got some fun to it, especially with Victor Leader and other buffing things out there. Yeah. Oh, get lost, stupid Discord pop-ups. Go away. I don't want you. You're annoying and noisy. Boop. And gone. Right. What other buffs would you put in a TIE token swarm list? So obviously Victor Leader is one of them. They don't have the Imperial tag, so they're not going to benefit from General Veers. So you'd be looking for things that key off either the vehicle keyword, possibly the fighter keyword, not Imperial, but maybe villainous buffs. You've got that 8 cost, create a swarm of TIE fighters, but when you get to 8, yeah, I don't know. I feel like any space-based swarm list is going to have to, or at least want to start with a bunch of swarming vulture droids for the cheap 2-cost space, but they're not villains, so maybe they would or wouldn't synergize with the list you're trying to build there. But hey, oh, we got another hyperspace in it. 1, 2, what's this? Diversion. Give a unit Sentinel for face. Another yellow Sentinel card. I mean, giving something Sentinel for 1 out of nowhere is definitely an annoyance and a trick, so I can see why they put that in the cunning aspect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 commons in the common pile. Salvage, solid guard, Tantive. 5/7 Sentinel in space. It doesn't scream sexy, but there's obviously going to be a lot of stuff kicking around in heavy capital space decks with Piet and whatnot. So maybe the Tantive is going to be more potent than I'm giving it credit for in my head, at the very least. Plus, I love the fact that the Prestige Manager is part one of a diptych alongside the Devastator, so another pair of Prestige cards I want to get. Let's put these uncommons to one side. Starship Thief, so this is what you're basically paying 5 to steal a spaceship. Sure, cool, but there's a lot of upgrade hate, so maybe you don't want to do that. That's a lot. There's not a lot of upgrade hate, and not all decks are going to be playing upgrade centric cards. So maybe upgrade hate won't be as ubiquitous in the metagame as people are thinking it will be. So at that point, maybe you do take more upgrades, and then the meta has this swing backwards and forwards with upgrade hate, no upgrade hate. And then your matchups line up in such a fashion that the upgrade hate doesn't matter, or does matter from game to game, and you kind of just see how it goes from there. So, game dependent matchups and cards, all well and good. Upgrade hate will be more sideboard, I think. Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with you. It'd be a foolish person who didn't include some upgrade hate in their sideboard. I mean, especially given how powerful the Dark Saber and General's Saber and other such things are. The deck that includes them can be powerful as all hell, but the question is, how much do you include main deck? It's one of the reasons why I quite like the double red for Luke, because you're running the aggression card, which is versatile, upgrade hate or not. It could be 3 other different things, and I really like the idea of that while you're running a space-based pinging control deck. So I think that's got real potential to be a versatile anti-meta pick. But who knows what who cares what I know? Wedge Anthony's leader. My wife has just very kindly brought me up this lovely salmon sandwich. It's just going to sit there until this stream is finished, because I don't want to spend time eating on stream. To all you guys, and you were able to hear me chomping. I could mute my microphone, but that kind of dull the whole point of doing this. So I will have to say thank you very much to my beloved, darling wife, Catherine, after the stream, and eat my slightly stale salmon sandwiches. Oh man, Koi Grand Turn. I'll definitely want some hyperspace Koi Grand Turns. Commons go on the common pile of doom over here. Von Riggs tie, very pretty hyperspace. This one isn't hyperspace, but the hyperspace is very pretty, because I was lucky enough to pull one in the advance booster that Asmodee was very kind enough to send me a few weeks ago. And the rare slot is an Allegiant General Pride, who's going to be strong in the indirect decks. And I see him being played in Piet decks as well. And the foil is a Sith Trooper. Or what I get? Well, 3/3 for 3, +1 attack for each damaged unit. Could see use in the indirect decks, or, well, whatever. I mean, let's face it, it's probably a sealed draft or limited card more than anything else. Next booster. Almost at the bottom, we've got 2 boosters left in this box. And then we have at least 1 more booster box left to go after this. 2 more booster boxes to go after this, actually. Wedge. So this stream has been going on for about an hour or so already, and it'll be going on for a little bit longer as I go through all of this stuff. Theed Palace, very pretty card. We got hyperspace of that earlier. Another Swarming Vulture Droid. How many are we on? We're on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Swarming Vulture Droids out of the better part of a box and a pre-release box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 commons. First shuttle ST-149 or Krennic's shuttle that I've pulled so far. Wingman Victor 2, well and good. Hyperspace Fly Casual. That looks kind of nice. That'd be a really good piece of mat art, that would. Just the Han and Chewie and the Death Star. If the mat art was this bottom bit here, that'd be really cool if they did that as a prize somewhere. I think I'd be disappointed if they didn't use this as mat art somewhere, because that's very nice. Hot shot maneuver. Sure, cool, great, whatever. And the foil is an uncommon astromech. Sure, great. Its obvious synergy is with Rose-based vehicle. Let's take some damage decks. 2 boosters to go from this box, of which 1 is in my hand. And I'm opening now. I have another Grand Admiral Thrawn. Another Shield Generator Complex with a experience on the back. 1, 2, 3. My first hyperspace swarming vulture droid. Need another 14 of those, which is all well and good. It doesn't really look like well because there's a bit of a glare from that sort of angle, but yeah, nothing to write home about. But it's prettier than having the frames on these ones, isn't it? Really, if you're going to do a swarming vulture droid deck, you want 15 of these, don't you? I mean, that's kind of just the flex. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, 8 commons because I pulled out the swarming vulture droid already. I have no idea who Jarrett Yeager is. Who's Jarrett Yeager? Coordinating Resistance. Are you from the Resistance TV series like Kazuda? That would make sense as to why I have no idea who you are. General Hux, all well and good. Ewing Lander. So this caught my eye a little while ago. 5 cost 2/2. When played, give 3 experience to this unit, so it's 5/5 for 5. When it completes an attack, you may attach an upgrade on this unit to another eligible friendly vehicle unit, so you spread your experience on other things. Why even bother? I suppose maybe in a Finn deck where you can convert experience to shields, maybe, but why are you playing Finn? Let's face it. Another legendary, another invincible. Not a hyperfoil this time, but still an invincible. So legendaries wise, we're on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 legendaries out of the better part of a booster box. Oh, excuse me. And a pre-release box. And the foil slot is a starter card, starter foil for Chewbacca, which is a very powerful card that will see use in a great many decks this set, I am sure. Box 1, off you go in the pile of rubbish in the corner, off screen, because nobody wants to see the mess that is my study. And finally, we have, well, finally for this box at least, the first box, a Magic Von Reg, a City in the Clouds, which you got a pretty high space of earlier, another Vulture Droid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Vulture Droids so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more commons. Mandalorian uncommon we spoke about earlier. Grim Valor, that's some pretty artwork as well, isn't it? Maybe that would be nice as a piece of matte artwork. Who knows? I don't know. I'm not sure I'd go out of my way to get a matte with that artwork, but I'd be very happy to have one because it is very pretty. Under uncommon is a red leader. And the rare is it's a trap! It's a trap. And the foil, some common card. Insurgent Saboteurs. Another piece of upgrade hate. 6, 5 for 6 with Saboteur is not the worst in the world. And on attack, you may defeat an upgrade. So having that in a yellow-green ECL deck certainly has some potential. Obviously, Wrecker's better, but 6/5 Saboteur on attack defeating upgrade is not the worst thing in the world to do. Right, so that's one box. Second box, well, one box and a pre-release box gone through so far. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 legendaries. We got one hyperfoil. Only one hyperfoil out of a box. That's kind of surprising. You only got more than them in previous boxes. Maybe they've saved them all up for the carbonite, or maybe that was just how the odds go. Could be either way. Let's just move that box up on top of the screen as we start the second box. Ooh, the second box. I do like that these boosters are paper because of the recyclability of them. It matters these days. Anyone tell you different? Darth Vader. The urge to just turn off my microphone for a few minutes and eat these beautiful salmon sandwiches is growing. Maybe I will do that and take a brief break. We shall see. How quickly can I stuff a pair of salmon sandwiches down my mouth? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 commons. For being literally a part of the key art of this set, I honestly thought Hero would have been a bigger part, really. So 2/3 restore 1 on the ground. Okay, yeah, for a hero blue, that's not the worst thing in the world. And there's a pilot for 2/3 restore 1. If you're playing a restore deck, then again, it's not necessarily the worst thing in the world, especially if you're bunging that on a restored arc or something. So maybe I'm giving that a bit short shrift. And having another 2-cost Spectre to play on the ground alongside Chopper is great if you're a Spectre fan and want to play a Spectre deck. So yeah, okay, Anakin, Phasma. And the rare is a IG 2000, which is another strong card for the Django decks due to its ability to ping multiple units. And foil is a foil page, which we don't really care about that much. Second booster for box 2. We have an Akbar. And a shield generator complex, and another swarming vulture droid. Excellent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, plus the hyperspace. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, because I didn't. Oh no, that's an uncommon. Okay, fine. Let's move the common over here. 3 uncommons. Contracted, Power from Pain, Wingman, Victor 3, all well and good. A rare Admiral Yularen, which was one of the latest cards to get spoiled because it only got shown on it was either a French or a German stream or something. So it was all in foreign language and all looked very strange. 1/5 for 3, so very defensive. When played, choose Grit. Restore 1 Sentinel or Shield. While this unit is in play, each friendly vehicle unit gains the chosen keyword. So if you choose Shielded, then every vehicle you play after this comes in shielded. And yeah, that's fairly powerful. And at 1/5, I mean, he's not difficult to shift because a lot of decks tech to be able to kill 5 hit point units on turn 3 on turn 2 with 3 resources or shortly after, because a lot of powerful units are 3/5 on 3. Each friendly vehicle gains restore 1 or Sentinel Grit. But the shielded one, that potentially has some use. Yeah, maybe I'm not giving that enough kudos, and that has potential to be a key card. And a 4D Fly Casual, yep, all well and good. Or at least a key card in the right deck. Next booster up. Thank you very much for tuning in, everybody who's tuning in and watching this, listening to me babble on while I crack some packs. Got another hyperspace in there. Rare Asajj Ventress. Maybe I should make an Asajj deck just for a laugh and see how much grit-based stuff or related stuff I can get in a deck. Might be fun. 1, 2, 3. Oh, we got another hyperspace. So double hyperspace pack here. This is nice. Adept Arc 170. 3, 4, restore 2 for 4. It's definitely one of the cheaper restore 2 cards in the game. Nice to see. And yeah, that's some solid, pretty artwork. Although French Calamano has made a lot of cards for this game, and they've always been good. So props to you for that. Anyway, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8 commons because I've pulled out the hyperspace. Uncommons, we've got Frisk and a You're All Clear Kid. Let's play this in Go Home, and a hyperspace Poe. So that's a much clearer look at what the Poe matte artwork is going to look like due to the clearer picture of that you get in the hyperspace, and that'll be a pretty map. Yeah, that'll be a very nice looking map. Very happy with that. Good choice. In the rare slot, we've got Super Heavy Iron Cannon, which is all well and good. And in the foil slot, we've got a Rebellious Hammerhead, which is, yeah, great, cool. Next card. Excuse me, next pack even, not next card. Odds of getting a showcase are against me because I'm not opening a case or even two. I'm only opening a pre-release pack and 3 booster boxes, of which I've just started the second booster box. Now we have a Thrawn, and we have a Sassy Temple, another Hyperspacer. 1, 2, 3. That's a pretty piece of artwork. Again, I'd be happy to have that on a mat if they did that. That's very nice. Yeah, very good. By JB Casacop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 commons out the way. R2D2, everybody's going to want 3 of him because he's 0 to play as a pilot upgrade. And BB because already a resistance Poe or whatever ship Poe's piloting. Fireball with Kasuda and an eject. Obviously has potential as a competitive card, as a number of people have spoken, especially Thork, which was the content creator who got to reveal this card as a spoiler this season. And the foil is out of the airlock. -5/-5 for 5. Another control-based blue removal card, because we didn't have enough of those already. Although, I suppose you've got to keep making new cards in new varieties, and it's a funny looking piece of artwork, so props for that. Another Major Vonreg. A Hyperspace Sassy Temple. Now that is also a pretty piece of artwork. The image of this that FFG showed off initially shows it in a lot more detail. I mean, it's really, really hard to see on the size of the card, but there are little people walking around on here that when you see the picture on the FFG website, you can make the people out in their guard posts on the top of the Sassy temples and the little birds flocking and flying around. So, well impressed with that. Very nice. And what's on the back of that? A TIE fighter. Great. The Sassy temple. Very lovely piece of art. Commons 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 commons. Off to the common pile. Uncommons. 4 generic uncommons. A rare fire spray, which we mentioned earlier when we did it. And we have our first rare base out of we're in through a box and a pre-release box and 3 or 4 boosters in on the second box, and our first rare base is a foil thermal oscillator, which is a great card to have, obviously, because you're going to need a full set of all the rare bases to play this game with, and I have no idea where exactly I'm going to put that. So let's just put it here with... Let's just stack it on the rares for the time being, because it is a rare in that regard, and I'm trying to get the hyperspace versions of them much more than I am the normals or the foil versions, because they did well with the hyperspaces. It's a really good idea. They look very, very nice for the overwhelming vast majority of them. Next booster we have a hyperspace side. Ooh, that's a much prettier card than the non-hyperspace version. That explosion in the background there is beautiful. Oh, wow. That's nice. I do like that. Thank you very much, artist Guillaume Hospital, or Hospital. I've pronounced that incorrectly. I do apologise, but that's very pretty. Oh, yeah. That's definitely a very nice hyperspace indeed. I like that. I like that a lot. Another hyperspace Mos Eisley with some shields on the back. Very good. Commons 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Uncommons, 4 generic uncommons. Although I do like the look of Dogfight. That deserves to be a meta staple this set, I believe. Attack with a unit. It can be anything. It doesn't even have to be a spaceship, be a vehicle. Just attack with a unit, even if it's exhausted, and it can't attack bases. So attack again. And that could go in an Anakin deck with Overwhelm, go with anything with Overwhelm, or just clear something else off the board. to achieve a bit more 2-for-1. That should be a solid card. Dengar. And the rare in this pack is a Rampart. 3/3 for 2. Doesn't ready during regroup phase unless it's Paris 4 or more. So not ready means it should be a staple for a Kasuda deck, but Kasuda is a hero and this is a villain, so almost certainly won't. But then again, you're going to be buffing it with some leaders. So the overstatting of 3/3 for 2 isn't necessarily that bad, provided you're running what I would assume to be a pilot heavy deck. So great, cool. And the foil is a common twin laser turret, which is all well and good, but not a big deal. Right, next pack. I have to pour myself a drink at some point. Holdo, yeah, great, cool. Resistance headquarters, yeah, great, cool. There's a hyperspace peeking out this pack here somewhere. 1, 2, 3, and it's a hyperspace Republic Y-Wing, which is a straight up 1/3 for 1 in yellow. And is a Republic, so that'll be what? Old Republic, I guess. Yeah, cool, nice hyperspace, nice enough at least. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 commons after the hyperspace taken out. Looks like it's hyper foil peeking out the back there. 1, 2, 3 uncommons. The rare slot is a legendary Shadow Caster, which has obvious direct synergies with the new Thrawn, but the fact you play it on 6 gives it competition in the slot with both Ruthless Raider and the Chimera. So how often do you see that used in a Thrawn deck? I'm not really convinced as to its utility, I must confess. But it's nice having another legendary, so that's all well and good. First legendary of this box. And a hyperfoil focus fire, which yeah, sure, cool, great. Always nice to have another hyperfoil, because people out there like collecting them. It gives them good trade power, I think. A hyperspace Major Vonreg, who looks okay. A little bit too dark in some of the places to really stand out, but yeah, nice. And hyperspace, yeah, very nice. I was unexpected at how much I really like the look of that hyperspace Asajj leader, I must confess. Most nicely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 commons. Commons, Krennic. Credits Patrol, Wingspan, yeah, fine. A Lightspeed Assault Rare, which we got hyperspace of earlier. That looked really pretty. And the foil slot, we've got a common A-Wing. So there we go. Excellent. Next booster, we're about a third of the way down this second box. Rose. Shield Generator Complex. I'm completely skipping over all the common cards here because they're common. If anybody wants me to pause or go back to a particular common, do ask. I'll be more than happy to do so. But they're common, so I imagine you've seen the vast majority of these already. Uncommons, War Juggernaut, Solid, Page, don't care. Rafa, don't care too much. The rare slot is a There Is No Escape. Am I ever going to play this in a deck, realistically? Choose up to 3 units. They lose all abilities and can't gain abilities for this round. I'd play in Twin Suns, sure. Am I going to play outside Twin Suns? What would I want to lose abilities? A deployed leader unit would lose all its abilities and can't get abilities for the round. Would I want to do it on anything else? Enemy units wouldn't have synergy in a Kasuda deck because he's heroic and this is a villain card. Maybe. Maybe that's a bit too much. Maybe that's a bit too niche. Timely Reinforcements. I really like this card. Potentially getting a bunch of 2/2 X-Wing tokens for 5 and giving them Sentinel for the phase, I think has a lot of potential in the right place, the right time, and the right game. Next pack. We have another Darth Vader. We have a City in the Clouds. Oop. Commons 1. Oh, another Swarming Voltage Droid. Yay! 1, 2. Let's do these so they're easier to see how many I've got. That'd be 8. So this is my 10th, is it? Yeah. 10 Swarming Voltage Droids and a Hyperspace Swarming Voltage Droid. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 commons. 3 general uncommons, which is all well and good. The rare slot, looks like there's another Hyperfoil there. The rare slot is a Tam Rivora, who 3/5, sorry, a 2/5 for 3. A little bit below the stat power level there, but 2/2 for 2, and on attack, give an enemy unit in the arena -1/-1. Is not the worst card in the world, and the Hyperfoil is a uncommon Decimator of Dissidence, which is another Hyperfoil. And you can play a 3/5 with Overwhelm for 3 if you dealt indirect damage this phase. Are you really going to play this in an indirect focus Boba deck or otherwise? 3/5 on 3 is on power curve as it is, so you is the Overwhelm really worth it for 3/5? Don't know, not sure. Not sold on that at all, I must confess. But maybe it has strength in a piloting focused indirect deck, of which there are a few. It's Imperial, not Underworld. It is a transport, which has synergies with some of the Boba Fett cards in the indirect stuff. A Rose Tico is another hyperspace peeking out for something there. Nadiri Dockyards, another just base. 1, 2. What is this? This is a Death Space Skirmisher. Yes, nice, dramatic, pretty piece of hyperspace art there. Yeah, like that. Very good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Commons for the common pile. Miss Hunter uncommon. Timing Reinforcements uncommon. Oh, a legendary. A hyperspace legendary in the final uncommon slot. A Death Star Plans, which is a hilarious card that I really want 4 of, because I want to do a special game of Twin Suns with people where everybody playing gets a hyperspace Jar Jar Binks and one of these, and the game will be chaotic and mad and great fun. So yeah, I'm really, really glad I pulled this. That's a very pretty card as well, with the Darth Vader in the back for the Rogue One. Very nice, and a second legendary in the rare slot. Ooh, this is a nice pack. It's a shame that the second legendary is a ghost, but you got to collect a playset, so it's nice to have pulled another legendary. And the foil slot is an uncommon, so not quite a god pack there, but very tasty double legendary pack to have in there, including beautiful hyperspace Death Star Plans, which is very nice. And there was another hyperfoil in there, which is the Invincible Legendary, which I forgot because I put it in the legendary pile. Oh, my back's hurting a little bit at this point. Ow, ow, ow. Right, next booster, moving on. Yeah, loving that ripping sound. Said nobody ever. Admiral Akbar, hyperspace resistance headquarters. It's a beautiful piece of art. It's just a little. It's not bright, is it? It's more sort of dulled colours. Still very nice. I guess when you've got the brightness of the feed and some of the other ones in there, it's a bit shame that one doesn't quite measure up. Looks like we've got another hyperspace poking out in the depths of this deck. 1, 2, another Voltage Droid. Excellent. That's 11 Swarming Voltage Droids. The hyperspace is a TIE bomber, which is a beautiful piece of artwork and a solid card in an indirect damage deck. So glad to get that. That's very nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 other commons. 3 generic uncommons. Yeah, all well and good. The rare slot is a no glory, only results. I didn't realise this was a rare. Ooh. But solid piece of removal, especially if you're running a Thrawn deck. So that'll be an in-demand nice card, and the foil is a common separatist battle droid thing. 4/3 Sentinel for 4. 4/3 Sentinel in space for 4. Not the worst card in the world, especially to pull in a limited or draft environment, which always seems to be the way. You want the ones that are generic. Rio Durant. Just spread it in the pack there to see if there's any more hyperspaces, but doesn't look there are in this one. Theod Palace. 1, 2, 3. Another swimming voltage droid. What are we at now? We're at 12 plus the hyperspace one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is that right? Yep, 8 commons. Off to the side there. Uncommons, 3 regular uncommons, all well and good. And a rare Jump to Lightspeed. Now that has to be a matte artwork piece, really, doesn't it? I'll look forward to seeing a hyperspace version of this, but that as game matte artwork has money written all over it, really, doesn't it? I'd pay for one of those. And the foil is a common villain pilot. First order, not Imperial pilot. +1/+2 for 1 is not bad. Excuse me, my apologies. Alright, next booster, moving on. Phasma. And another base. Commons 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 generic commons. Mandalorian uncommon, Grimfather uncommon, Red Leader uncommon, but nice to have. A rare General Draven, all well and good. And a foily Tandem Assault, which I think is going to be a piece of matte artwork at the regionals or sectors. And when you see it in hyperspace or on the map, this is a beautiful piece of artwork. Well worth getting your hands on if you can get your hands on a matte using the Tandem Assault artwork. I think you'll be very proud to have that. Next pack. Another Admiral Piet. There's a hyperspace peeking out there. Hyperspace something anyway. Chop base. 1, 2, 3. Hyperspace. Here's a Jedi Light Cruiser, which is also a very nice piece of artwork. Yeah. I like that. By Ahmad Mir. Lovely artwork. Very nice. 6 is just like on the money statistic wise for 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 commons. 3 uncommons. Phasma, stay on target. And a wing guard, all well and good. The rare slot is a Luke Skywalker, which is definitely worth having. Is a very solid green hero card. And the foil is a 2/4 Sentinel in space for yellow villainy. Next pack. What do we have in this one? We have a Hyperspace Vader. Have I already got a Hyperspace Vader in there? I don't know if I opened one earlier or not. Yes, we already pulled a Hyperspace Vader. So a second Hyperspace Vader will go in for my lovely little trade pile. So there's a few more hyperspaces buried in this pack. So that's good to see. Precisely. We get a prototype TIE Advanced, which is a weird stunted TIE Advanced. But nice to have the hyperspace of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 other commons. Uncommon wise, we've got the Von Regs, we've got the Astromech, and we've got a hyperspace rare targeting computer, which is definitely worth having. Awesome. Good. Cool. Looks like the foil is a base in the back there, so I'm guessing that's going to be a rare base. We have obviously a legendary here, a stolen AT hauler, which will be good for the Kazudo player because you then get to ignore the negative aspects of its ability text and just get a 4/5 for 3, which is above the odds. And it is indeed the rare base there, the Nabat Village rare base, which is quite literally shiny. Excellent. I'll put the hyperspace rare over here because, in my mind, rare is more important than hyperspace. And all hypers over here are all commons and uncommons. Just for the sake of sorting purposes, if you had noticed that inconsistency and were even slightly curious as to why I was being inconsistent in what I was putting in what sorting pile and where. We have a Luke Skywalker, a City in the Clouds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 general commons. Nothing of a special note in those commons. We have Boshek, another Poe, another hunting aggressor, good to have. Another legendary, very nice. Another turbo laser salvo, which will add that to the stack of legendaries, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 legendaries out of the best part of 2/3 of one box, a full other box, and a pre-release box. And the foil is a common set of Skyway cloud cards that can bounce a little unit when it dies. Next booster. Still really happy about that hyperspace Death Star plans. I don't know why I'm the happiest about that so far. It just looks kind of cool. So we've got another hyperspace in here. We have a Luke Skywalker. We have a hyperspace City in the Clouds, which will be a spare with some shields on the back. No, that goes in the hyperspace base pile because they are pretty and deserve showing off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 general commons. 1, 2, 3 generic uncommons, and a rare They Hate That Ship, which is great. And I love the idea of playing that with what was it? The heavy vehicle that does 1 damage to any unit, so it completely neuters the fact it's just created a pair of 1/1 tokens for your opponent, which is funny, lovely little combo. And the foil is another starter card, a Bosk, which is nice to have because having more of those means people aren't necessarily going to have to buy the Spotlight decks if they don't want them in order to get hold of the cards that are exclusive with S rating rarities, just to get the Chewies and the Bobas and Bosks and whatnot. Vonreg, Sassy Temple. Looks like there's another hyperspace buried here in this pack. We have a diversion, another Vulture Droid. 1, 2, 3. So it's going to be the 13th normal Vulture Droid, or 14 if you count the hyperspace one. 1, 2. Hyperspace Koya Grand Turn. Very nice. That'd be a good piece of artwork as well for a mat. If that was a mat and I had that, I would be very happy to have that and use that. That's nice. Very dramatic. The artwork done by a Mr. Jake Parker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Have I pulled out? Yeah, I must have pulled out some Vulture Droid as well. Cool. Commons off to one side. Uncommons R2 is good. Heartless Tactics is all well and good. U-Wing Landers weird. It's a trap. Is not the best rare in the world. And some dedicated wingmen create 2 X-Wings for 4 in space, which is nice if you're making a token spam deck, of course. How many boosters we've got left? We've got like 5 in this box. 5 boosters left in this second box. And we have a Rio Durant. No showcase as yet, nor would I expect there to be. I do not feel so entitled. Looks like there's a hyperfoil at the back of this pack, though. Regular base, 1, 2, 3, and another Vulture Droid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7. So that's 15 swarming Vulture Droids, including the hyperspace one here, which is very nice. Out of what? The better part of 2 boxes and a pre-release box. So that's how many it might take you if you want to get 15 swarming Vulture Droids and you don't want to buy singles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 commons. Oh. Razor Crest, which I've remarked on the art quality earlier because it's beautiful. Chimera is also beautiful, and I would love this as the artwork for a mat. I would adore that. That would be wonderful. Please do it. Please give it to me. Dornian Gunship, and the rare slot card is an Iden Versio, and the hyperfoil is a Death Space Skirmisher, which is, yeah, it's a pretty space card. Ooh. Very nice. 4 boosters left in this box. Ow, got a bit of an itch. We have another Grand Admiral Thrawn. There's a hyperspace in this pack somewhere. We have another Chopper Base. 1, 2, 3, 4 Outer Rim Outlaws. This is 3/3 for 3 shielded blue. That screams Gar Saxon deck to me. And yeah, that's pretty nice. Definitely worth playing, particularly in a Gar deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 commons into the common pile. Uncommons, we have a Tarkin, a thing that ambushes space, and a gold leader. In the rare slot, we have a hotshot maneuver. I see this and I keep thinking that I need to go and look up how many cards have multiple on-attack abilities, or how many on-attack abilities can you stack using leaders and or pilots and other things. So maybe there'll be some killer combo you can get with this, and I haven't looked it up yet, and I really need to go away and look it up so I can be knowledgeable about it. So yeah, that'll be fun to look up. And the hyperfoil is a hyperfoil legendary. Oh, now that is pretty. A hyperfoil nebula ignition. That's definitely a beautiful card. As the ghost gets away from, is that what, 2-star destroyers, A-star destroyer? An executor playmat. I'm fairly sure there is an executor playmat. I think they showed it off as being the artwork for one of the prize mats, maybe at Lille. I may be mistaken in that belief, but I'm fairly sure I've seen that an executor playmat does exist. So I'll hit you up on Discord afterwards if you don't find it in the meantime for yourself already. But I think I've seen that already. And I also think that it's not just the Executor artwork. I think it might be the Prestige Executor artwork, obviously, because it's landscape. So if you find it, let me know. And I'll post a link in this chat if somebody else finds it, or otherwise if we do so. But yeah, I'm fairly sure that exists. If it's like a Lille or regionals thing only, then it might not be easy to get a hold of at all. Although if you're going to Lille, enjoy it. I will not be able to make that one, unfortunately. Next pack we have Wedge Antilles. A hyperspace chopper base, which I've already got the artwork for from set 1, so I'm not going to do anything with that, but that's going to be another hyperspace TIE fighter, which is nice. Oh, you've got me curious now. That's going to bug me. No, I'm not going to interrupt this stream to go and look for where I saw that Executor mat artwork, because I'm sure it's out there somewhere, but I'm not going to just stop dropping everything to make it so there's nothing going on this stream while I look it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 commons going into the common pile. We got a hyperspace decimator. That's a nice thing to have, I suppose. Uncommons in the uncommon pile. A rare black one. Black one's rare. Wow, I thought it was less than that. I hadn't clicked in my head that I haven't seen many black ones yet. And obviously, there's going to be decks wanting to run 3 black ones as a solid thing. The Poe Dameron green ECL deck for a start, if not others. So that being a rare means that's going to be in demand. And the foil is a uncommon Captain Tarkin, looking like he's stroking his chin in a very contemplative manner. Yes. I would like a cup of tea. Milk with 2, please. Yes. And a dead Alderaan while you're at it. Thank you very much. Last 2 boosters of this box. Here we go. Is a Hyperspace Kazuda Ziono. Yeah, gonna have to put some effort into working out how he does as a leader. If only so. I'm ready to counter it when the time comes. We shall see. Oh, there's some stuff going on there. Common base. 1, 2, 3, and a hyperspace repair, which is cool. Great. Yep. I mean, we obviously we saw that artwork a year ago because it's a set 1 card reprinted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Commons for the common pile. Dogfight, uncommon. Red 5, uncommon. Hero Syndulla, uncommon. And the rare is a Phantom 2, which comes in a diptych with the new Ghost Legendary in the Prestige versions of them. So that would be nice. Finding a number of Star Destroyer nets, but none of the Executor class. Oh, where did I see it? That's going to bug me. Oh, right. Okay. I'm going to find out where I've thrown my iPad off in the corner somewhere. That's really annoying. Where did I see that? Was it in like a tickets on sale or something? Star Wars Unlimited website, news, meta updates, sectors and regionals of season 0. Was it in there? That's got the Kylo Ren artwork. Is that? Oh no, that's an Executor box. So there's an Executor soft crate for certain that will be in the regional qualifiers. And if you let me just post the link to this article here in the chat. And that looks like the Executor artwork from the regular version of the card, not a Prestige. If you scroll halfway down the page or so, you'll see a picture of the Fetz Fire Spray mat and Ahsoka and the Executor and Plo Koon. And I think that's soft crate artwork. I'm sure I've seen that Executor artwork somewhere. I will dig it up after the stream, and I will find you, and I will let you know if I find it somewhere, and hopefully I will find it, and hopefully there is definitely an Executor mat. Final pack of this box, because I wouldn't want to be wrong about having seen one, because that bugs me. Last pack of this box, we have a Wedge Antilles. We have a Seed Palace. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Regular commons into the common bin. Uncommon apology accepted. Captain Nida. Yeah, cool. What's pinging me? Let's get rid of that. I have no idea if that ping is coming through on the stream or not, but I don't want to take that risk, so let's go away. Pantoran Starship Thief Rare is kind of like the I will steal your unit, and the foil is an Onyx Squadron, which is going to be a staple in Thrawn decks, if nothing else. Right, that's the end of the second box. You can go away in the corner. And we bring forward the third and final box of regular boosters. Again, the plan was that there was going to be a carbonite box being opened alongside all of this stuff, but due to a misunderstanding and some mistakes at my local gaming store, the carbonite box has not materialized, and I'm hoping it will later. So maybe there will be another carbonite box to open later. Maybe there will be two if I get a second one as well, which would be nice. We shall see how that goes. Right, starting the third and final booster box. Okay, first booster pack from the third box. So before I actually start counting this, what are we on? We are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 legendaries out of 2 boxes and a pre-release box, pre-release pack, which is nice. An Akbar, a shield generator complex. Commons, we have another hyperspace. We have a hyperspace electromagnetic pulse, deal 2 damage to a droid or a vehicle and exhaust it, which is a very niche sideboard card right there. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 commons. Uncommons, we got Red Leader, Von Regs, Astromech, worth having. The rare is a Leet, L337. So what is this? We got a 3/3. If the unit would be upgraded as a unit, you may instead attach her as an upgrade to a friendly vehicle without a pilot. So it's like reverse Luke. If she dies, she can become a pilot. Or as a pilot, she's a +3/3 for 3. So yeah, she'll have a place in certain kind of decks. I'm sure. And the foil slot is a common First Order Special Forces TIE Fighter, which allows it to be readied if the opponent controls more space units than you. So if you've got no space units on the board when you play this, they need to have 2 units or more in order for this to be played and readied, which is going to be a bit niche and a bit tricky to line up, which is why I don't like these controls more units than you types of abilities, because they're always sound easier than they are to pull off. In fact, Wedge Antilles, a hyperspace shield generator complex. I don't think I've pulled one of these yet. That is very pretty. Oh yeah, I like that. Nice iconic piece of artwork. Very happy with that. Very nice indeed. Yes. Maybe one of my go-to blue bases going forth. Commons 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 commons. Commons we have Ewing, Krennic Shuttle, and Mauler Mythil, the uncommon villain pilot, and a rare Moff Gideon, which we pulled a hyperspace of earlier, and the foil is an uncommon Silver Angel, which is going to go straight in the pile over there and never looked at again, probably, because I don't really see much use for that outside of running a Rose deck, which you're only really likely to do in sealed or draft, either of the limited formats, really. Yeah, maybe in Twin Suns, maybe I'm wrong. Holdo, Leader, Seed Palace base. Commons, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. General commons in a huge growing pile of commons. Boshek, Poe, and Hunting Aggressor. Solid ones to have. We have another legendary. We have a Radiant 7 legendary. Each enemy non-leader unit gets -1/0 for each damage on it, which is obviously synergizes with something like a Django deck, and the deal 5 indirect damage to a player. Obvious synergies with a indirect focus deck, and having something expensive to play 5, 6, or 7 isn't great stats, but the abilities certainly make it worth consideration. So yeah, that's a good thing to see. And the foil is a foily rare. Season Fleet Admiral might be the third. Also, one of those I've pulled over the course of these boosters. Next one up. Still 4 people watching. Hyperspace Major Von Reg. We've definitely pulled at least one of those so far already in this stream. Got another 2 hyperspace. Oh, and a hyperfoil in this deck. Wow, okay, this is a nice pack. Common base Moss Eisley. The first hyperspace is an indoctrinated conscript who looks like a faceless indoctrinated conscript, which spot on the art brief there, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 commons. Wonder why they chose to reprint this Homestead Militia. Strange choice. They obviously had their reasons to extend its lifespan out from Spark Republic. Uncommons or uncommon slots. We've got Fly Casual, we have Stay on Target, and we have a Hyperspace Captain Tarkin, which is nice. We have a Legendary. So 3 Hyperspaces and a Legendary in this pack. That's definitely not a bad pack. It is another Shadowcaster, which I don't see being used in any real deck at all, to be honest. And the Hyperfoil is a common Hopeful Volunteer, a Duros pilot in the Rebels, which is +1/+3 for 2, so fairly on the numbers stat line there. Excellent. Next booster up is a Hyperspace Luke Skywalker, which we pulled one of earlier, and I commented and still believe that I'm quite a fan of that artwork, because that's very pretty, of the fuselage of the X-Wing there. Very happy to have pulled a couple of those. Common base out the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 regular commons. Uncommon slots, we have a Razor Crest, another Chimera, and a rare in the uncommon slot, a Hyperspace rare Ahsoka Tano. Yeah, that's nice. Very good. Glad to have pulled that. Go in there. And a legendary, a Planetary Bombardment. Strong legendary. One of the money legendaries of the set. Very happy to have pulled that. Excellent. Yeah, good. And the foil is a Bunker Defender. Very nice. These legendaries are going to start overflowing the space I've allocated to legendaries. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 legendaries so far, which is almost on the odds for 3 full boxes, to be honest. Next pack, we have a Darth Vader, a Hyperspace Nadiri Dockyards, which is very pretty. Look, honestly, it looks straight out of Guardians of the Galaxy and Nowhere, to be honest, which is not a bad look at all. Commons 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 generic commons. Uncommons wise, we have Krennic, we have a Sweep the Area, and a Clone Combat Squadron. We have a rare that I really like the look of for Twin Suns, but I'm not sure it's going to really see play in Premier. Unless you're running a massive go wide deck, which have not proven effective thus far. And the foil slot is an uncommon Hunting Aggressor, which makes indirect damage based decks extremely strong. 3/6 on 4 is not easy to get rid of, really. Doesn't do a lot of damage inherently, but buffing every other source of indirect damage is very tasty. Rose Tico. There's another hyperspace in this pack. Chopper base. A lot of hyperspaces. 1, 2, 3, and the hyperspace is a Crackshot V-Wing, which 2/2 for 1. If you control no other fighter units, deal 1 damage to this unit. Alright, cool. Competitively at least. Pretty guard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 commons. And in the uncommon pile, we have a Dornian Gunship, another Captain Tarkin, another retrofitted airspeeder, a Snap Wexley. Search for resistance card. So I don't think anybody's really playing a resistance tribal deck yet, at least. So maybe this is something that will get stronger as the game goes on. And the foil card is a Zygarian Starper, which is an indirect damage dealing common spaceship for 2. So cool. Next pack. Let's do a little bit of. Oh yeah. Listen to that. Yeah. You didn't come here for ASMR, but you got it anyway. Admiral Akbar. Common Seed Palace. Regular commons, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Uncommons, we have a red 5, which is strong card. Another hyperspace in the uncommon slots there. So red 5, you're all clear, kid, and a hyperspace rare IG88. That's a nice looking card, isn't it? I do like that. Very good. Very nice indeed. And not too bad stats wise either. While an enemy damage unit is damaged, gets +3 attack. So it's essentially a +3/+3 for 2 because you're reasonably likely to have a damaged enemy unit on the board, especially if you're running an indirect focused deck. And the rare slot is a Lightspeed Assault, which is nice. And the foil slot is another rare, which is a foil Relentless Fire Spray, which is nice. So good. I'd have been happy to open that from like weekly play or something, if that was a booster that I pulled in weekly play. Next booster, we have a Darth Vader. We have a shield generator complex. Commons wise, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 regular commons. Uncommons wise, we have Gold Leader. I have you now. Apology accepted, Captain Leader. And another Phantom 2. I do like the idea of the Phantom 2 just plugging into a ghost. That's kind of cool. Yeah, well done. Even if we don't see it in play, basically ever. Or at least in competitive constructed play. Premier, that's the one. Or Premier, as the Americans like to say. Interceptor Ace is a foil common, which is reasonably solid. Yes, I take the mick out of American pronunciation every now and then, as I fully expect to be done back to us here in good old England and the United Kingdom. Rose Tico goes away. Shield generator complex. Torpedo barrage. Another swarming vulture droid. So I now have 15 non-hyperspace swarming vulture droids, and it's taken me basically 3 boxes to acquire 15 swarming vulture droids, +1 in hyperspace. So that is a thing. I will put the hyperspace one on top just because why not? Cool. 1, 2. Oh, and the hyperspace card. We have a Rebellious Hammerhead, which is pretty enough card. I like the look of that. 5, 7, 6. You may deal damage to a unit equal to the number of cards in your hand. There's not that many card draw focused decks out there, so I guess the when played is much more of a bonus ability than something you focus on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 other general commons. Uncommons, you have Mist Hunter, Tony Reinforcements, and another Bigs. And the rest, we have a Jam Communications because Yellow Hero needed more hand disruption cards, and they didn't have enough already, so clearly they've got some more. Blue Leader is a solid uncommon, very pretty one. Yeah, good to have a copy of that. To be fair, in the foil version does look kind of shiny. It highlights the blues going into the reds and the colours that they put in there. Thrawn Leader, there's another hyperspace somewhere in this booster. We got Nadiri. What is the hyperspace? Hyperspace is, oh, a very pretty one. Yeah, the blues and fire colours in that look very nice. It's also a card that will see play in a new Thrawn set 4 deck due to its when defeated ability. So that's one that I'm quite happy to have pulled. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 other commons. Uncommons, we have Decimator, Contracted Hunter, and a Power from Pain. Yeah, good. And the rare slot is my first rare base in the rare slot is the Lake Country. I really want to see the hyperspace for this. I think it's going to be beautiful. And I'm looking forward to either pulling one or acquiring one way or the other. Not sure it's going to see play. Possibly in Twin Suns, where the loss of one aspect means less than doing so in Premier play. So yeah, there we go. Cool. And the foil is a starter S card, the Shuttle Tidarium from the Han Solo Spotlight deck. Oh, well and good. Next booster. Missed the thing to pull and tear on that one. My rubbish pile of booster packs is beginning to overflow the box I have allocated for the rubbish pile. So that's going to be later's problem. A Thrawn, a hyperspace feed palace, which does look very pretty. Yeah, I'd run that as a blue. Sorry, as a green one. Quite happily. Commons, we got. Oh no, disrupting our pile of legendaries there in my sleeve slightly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. General commons. Uncommons, we have Hera, another Anakin, another Captain Phasma, and another legendary, another copy of the Death Star plans. So that is another thing towards my goal of having 4 of these for a stupid game of Twin Suns, which I will spring on some unsuspecting people one day when they least expect it. Direct hit is some pretty artwork, very nice foil version of that, very good. Next booster, I think we're either halfway down or almost halfway down this third and final box of boosters that I've acquired. Later than the date I would have got them on if I'd been to a pre-release, but I was out of the country, so couldn't have been to a pre-release, sadly. Right, Wedge Antilles. Regular base. Another Swarming Vulture Droid. We're in Swarming Vulture Droid profit now. Any extra one goes towards other people who want 15 Swarming Vulture Droids. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, of which there's at least a few people in my local gaming circle based in and around Birmingham and the Geek Retreat Birmingham who are after more Swarming Vulture Droids. So hopefully that'll go to a good home. One, I think Wingman 3, a Frisk and a Ural Clear Kid, and another Ahsoka Tano in the rare slot, and a Hyper Foil Common Independent Smuggler. +1/1 Raid 1 4/1. That's good value. Yeah, it's definitely good value. I could potentially see that seeing play in the right kind of deck. Next booster with Falcon on the front. We have a Luke Skywalker leader, a Massassi Temple, a probably hyperspace common here. We have a Focus Fire, which is definitely a thing. Yeah. Okay, cool, great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 regular commons. Commons for the Common God. R2, BB-8, and a Fireball in the uncommon slots. The rare slot is a Tam Rivora, which you've seen earlier. The foil slot looks to be another Hyperfoil. It is a Hyperfoil Director Krennic uncommon. That's a nice card to pull. Although I think the OP artwork that they've done for the weekly packs looks a bit nicer. This is definitely not bad at all. Yeah, I'm very happy to have pulled that. Very happy. Next booster. We have Major Von Reg. We have a Moss Eisley Spaceport. Commons 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 generic commons. Uncommons Fly Casual, a Jarek Yeager, and a Dengar. In the rare slot, we have a popular Luke Skywalker, who will be a solid guard. And the foil slot is a common Determined Recruit. All well and good. +3, +1 for 2. Good stat line. I can see that being used in piloting focused decks quite happily. +3, +1, not to be sniffed at for 2. Right, we have a Reodrent. Looks like there's a... No, there isn't. I'm just looking at it wrong. Reodrent goes away. Moss Eisley goes away. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 general commons. Uncommons, we have a Wingguard, we have a Dogfight, we have a Dengar. The rare slot, we have another Relentless Fire Splay. I think that's like the 4th one of those I've seen now. And the foil slot, we have an Attack Run, which is like a Rebel Assault for anyone for the cost of 1 that can affect space units of any aspect, which is obviously very good for a sealed draft limited format. Next booster, we're getting toward near the bottom of this 3rd box, so this will be coming to an end soon. Oh, we have a Hyperspace Rose Tico. That's a good looking card. Yeah, the shadow and the art and the colours all in the background look very nice. Yeah, again, good piece of artwork there. Art done by Eric Hibbler. Yeah, very nice. Very pretty card. Hyperspace City in the Clouds. We've seen one of those already. Looks like there's a Hyperspace in the final uncommon slot of this pack, so we'll see what that is when we get to it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 general commons. Uncommon slot, at least, we have a Director Krennic, have a Commence Patrol, and we have a Leia Organa, who is good looking card, very nice. The rare slot is a Trench Run, which is been highlighted by many people for being a very good card to play in a Kazuda deck, because he will get rid of the negative part of the ability that could deal damage, and you're just doing +4 attack for a cost of 1, which is frankly horrific. So that's great. And the foil slot is a foil rare Iden Versio, which is very nice. Double rare pack. How many boosters do we have left in here? That's 6, 3 in that pile, 4 in this one. So after this booster in hand, there'll be another 6 boosters in this final 3rd box of mine, which I've bought with my own lovely money. And I've been looking forward to opening for the past couple of weeks. Or at least the past week, because that was when I would have been able to get them if I'd gone to pre-release. Sarge Ventress goes away. City in the Clouds. Commons wise, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Regular general commons. Nothing of particular note in there. Uncommon slot, we have Silver Angel, we have a Blue Leader, which is great. We have an Index Crimson Dawn, which is funny. In the rare slot, we have another Jump to Lightspeed, which is good. And in the foil slot, we have an uncommon Mist Hunter, which is great, I suppose. Card draw mechanic. I think if you're running villain yellow, you're probably going to be more interested in other stuff than a card draw mechanic if you fulfill some other niche criteria. But card draw is nice to have. After this one, the 5 boosters remaining. Another Reodorant. A Nadiri Dockyards. Looks like there's a Hyperspace a little bit further on down this booster in the common slots. So that is a Hyperspace Quasar TIE Carrier, which is a ship in space launching some TIE fighters. Cool. Yeah. Nailed the art brief there. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 other general commons of no special note. Uncommon slots, we've got Mauler Mythal, BB-8, and Krennic Shuttle. In the rare slot, we have a Commandeer. And in the foil slot, we have another Commandeer. Double Commandeer. Some spares in there. There will be 4 boosters left after this. The 5th final booster I have to open today. Still a little gutted I don't have any Carbonites to open, but their time will come. We have a Hyperspace Grand Admiral Thrawn, which we've seen earlier and remarked on how it's very, very pretty, but even more pretty on the unit side with the framing of the sort of doorway in the background there. Very nice. Nadiri Dockyards. We've got a few hyperspaces in this booster. The common hyperspace is another hyperspace swarming vulture droid. Only 13 more of those to go for my set of 15 hyperspace swarming vulture droids. Yay! 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 other general commons. Uncommon slot, we have a War Juggernaut, we have a Page Tico, and another Page Tico, but this one's a hyperspace. So cool, great. In the rare slot, we have a Radus, which is a solid enough card. And in the foil slot, we have a Hyper Foil, All Wings Reporting, which is kind of hard to tell it's a Hyper Foil, really, except for the lack of framing. But maybe that would be a nice piece of artwork for... actually, there's no maybe about it. You've got all the ships massing for the attack of the second Death Star. That would be a nice piece of artwork for a map. Yeah, I would like to see that. Art by JB Kasakop. Excellent. And these are uncommon, so they can go in the uncommon pile off to one side. 4th last booster. Are we going to pull anything radically amazing in the final 4 boosters that we've got? Odds are probably not, but you never know, do you? So we've got a Darth Vader. We have a Hyperspace Moss Eisley, which is a nicely pretty card that we've seen earlier on the stream already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 general commons. Uncommons wise, uncommon slot wise, we have a Timely Reinforcements, a Champs Indolor, and which is Red Ramp, and a Trace Martez. We have another legendary. We have a Scramble Fighters, which I'm sure Phil will want 3 of for his TIE Fighter token swarm list he mentioned earlier. And in the foil slot, we have a foil War Juggernaut, which is very nice to have. Because War Juggernaut I expect to see in some meta decks, as we mentioned earlier when we pulled a few of them. 3 boosters left. This is the 3rd final booster of this box, and all of the boosters I have left to open. We have another Major Von Rig. A Resistance Headquarters. Commons wise, another Swarming Vulture Droid, which will be spare. And another Swarming Vulture Droid. 2 Swarming Vulture Droids in the same pack. Oh, we are in profit now. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 other generic commons. Let's put the Swarming Vulture Droids in the Swarming Vulture Droid pile, which is getting quite chunky now. Yeah, quite a few of those. Excellent. Definitely more than a playset's worth. Uncommon slot-wise, we have a Ratha, a Salvage Solid Card, a Tantive, and another rare Rampart. And the foil slot, we have an uncommon Gold Leader, which is fairly clearly designed to go with the Lando Calrissian leader, as he would do, because he's piloting that ship in Return of the Jedi. 2 boosters remaining. Do we go for the Poe or do we go for the R2? We go for the Poe, leaving the R2 for the last one, because I think R2 deserves it a little bit more than Poe does. Although Poe is not the worst character in the world. I'll give him that. Here we go. We have a Wedge Antilles. Looks like we've got a Hyperfoil in the back there. Yeah, so Wedge goes away. Chopper base. Commons wise, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 general use commons. Uncommon slot-wise, we have a Face-Off, a Mandalorian, and a Grim Valor. Rare slot-wise, we have a Tactical Heavy Bomber. And Hyperfoil slot, we have a rare Boba Fett. So let me just put this away so we can examine that a little bit closer, because that looks kind of nice. Yeah. That's good. Obviously great in a Boba Fett indirect damage deck, because you can play him as an upgrade and he will do some damage to finish off a unit that they've already put some indirect damage on. 5/4 shielded to the ground is definitely not the worst stat line in the world. It's probably not what you want, but it's not bad either. And the piloting +2/+3 for 2 is good, and the ability is good. Yeah, all round good card. Excellent. Very happy to have pulled that. And the final pack of the stream, the last one that I have here today, a Star Wars Unlimited Jump to Lightspeed booster pack card with a shiny. I don't know if anybody else has noticed this, but the barcodes for these boosters got the little trench run design here, which I think is kind of cool for them to have done it. So here we go. The final pack. Dun, 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 dun. Almost certainly going to be nothing special whatsoever, except for the fact that it is another pack of Star Wars Unlimited cards. We've got a Kazuda. Looks like we've got a hyperspace in the final uncommon slot, so that could be something interesting when we get there. Replica base, another Swarming Volts Droid. We do like Swarming Volts Droids. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 other generic commons. Let's put that away in our pile of Swarming Volts Droids. Uncommon slot-wise, we have a Banshee, which synergizes well with the Sarge Ventress Leader, as it should do, because it is her spaceship. A uncommon Mist Hunter is all well and good. A hyperspace Cassian Andor, which looks like some very nice artwork. I do like that. Also, very definitely looking forward to Season 2 Cassian coming later in April. The first season was exceptionally good. And we have faith that the second season will also be a very good series. The rare slot for this pack is a black one, which is not disappointing. And the foil slot is a Scouting Headhunter, which is a 2/1 Sentinel for 2 in space, which is definitely better than a kick in the bum. So, yeah, there we go. All told, this is our legendary haul out of 3 booster boxes and a pre-release pack, which is just shy of 80 packs of boosters. That'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 legendaries out of just shy of 80 packs. Swarming Vulture Droid wise, we got 2 hyperspace Swarming Vulture Droids 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 normal Swarming Vulture Droids, and some very nice hyperfoils and regular hyperspaces. So that is going to be it for the stream, because these salmon sandwiches that my wife brought up earlier are looking very nice, and I'm a bit peckish right now. So if you've been here watching, thanks very much for tuning in. Cheers for the conversation, Phil. I'll go and have a look for that Executor Mat or Executor Mat that I still am convinced exists somewhere. I'll post it in the Discord for you, and hopefully we'll be able to make that a thing and not just my imagination. So, yep, cheers for tuning in. If you're watching this post-stream, thanks very much. Otherwise, have a good rest of your Saturday or whatever the day is that you're watching this. Have a good one. Ta.